Have you ever looked at a video you shot on your phone? And these cameras are amazing, right? And just thought, why doesn't this feel like the real deal? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're diving into the key ideas from the book Comunicare con il video to show you how anyone, and I mean anyone, can create way more powerful videos. Let's get into it.
We've all been there. You capture this incredible sunset or a moment that's just hilarious, and then you hit play, and poof, the magic's gone. It just feels flat. You're left wondering, how did the feeling I had right there get lost on its way to the screen?
And here's the big secret, right up front. The gap between your video and a pro's isn't about having a more expensive camera. It's about realizing that video is a language. It has its own vocabulary, its own grammar. And once you learn to speak it, everything changes.
So, where do we start? How do we learn this language? Well, the very first thing is to change your mindset. You have to stop being someone who just records stuff and start being a creator who shapes it. And believe it or not, that whole process begins way before you even think about hitting that little red button.
See, a video that looks professional is never an accident. Ever. It's the result of choices, smart, deliberate choices made by you, the author. The magic isn't in just pointing your camera at reality, it's in crafting that reality with a purpose. And that leads us right to the starting line. Before you think about shots or editing or anything, you have to get a handle on your core idea. You gotta know exactly what it is you're trying to say.
And the book makes this first decision really simple. You just have to ask yourself one question. Am I telling a story with a beginning, middle, and end? If the answer is yes, that's a narrative video. Or am I just trying to organize information around a key message, like in a tutorial or a promo? That's non-narrative. Simple as that.
So this gives us our first couple of secrets. Secret number 1, nail down your idea before you even think about filming. And secret number 2, if it's a non-narrative video, build it around a few key questions. Say you're making a video for a local bakery. You just need to answer, what do you sell? Who's it for? And why is it so delicious? Those answers become the entire backbone of your video. Okay, so that makes sense for the non-narrative stuff. But what about when you are trying to tell a story? How do you actually build something that people want to keep watching?
Well, the answer is a structure that's basically as old as time. It has 3 parts. First, you show us the world in balance, in a state of equilibrium. Think of the quiet, peaceful town at the beginning of Jaws. Then, bam, something happens that shatters that peace, the shark attack. That's the rupture. And finally, you have to find a new balance, a new equilibrium. The shark is gone and the town is safe again. And that right there, that's secret number 3. This simple framework is the engine that drives almost every great story you've ever seen. It doesn't matter if it's a huge blockbuster or a quick 30-second ad. That pattern, equilibrium, rupture, new equilibrium, is what creates the tension that keeps us glued to the screen.
All right, so your big idea is planned out. Now it's time for the really fun part. It's time to translate that idea. It's time to start speaking the camera's language. This is a huge mental shift you have to make. Your camera isn't just a passive window on the world. It's an active eye. Every single shot you take is a choice. A shot is the basic word in this visual language, and it's your main tool for saying something. One of the first, most basic choices you have to make is the scale of shots. In plain English, that's just how far away the camera is from your subject. Are you way back, or are you right up in their face? This isn't just about what fits in the frame, it completely changes how the audience feels about what's happening.
Let's look at a couple of examples. A long shot, or a wide shot, is all about giving us context. It shows us the world, the environment, and how small our character is within it. You see a tiny figure walking through a huge desert. That single shot tells you they're isolated, they're on an epic journey.
Now, as we push in a little closer to a full shot, the focus changes. Yeah, the background is still there, but now our eyes are drawn to the person. What are they doing? How are they moving? The character is now the main event.
And then we have the close-up. This is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful tools you have. When you fill the screen with someone's face, you're not looking at the world around them anymore. You're looking inside them. This is how you show us joy, terror, doubt. It's the shot for pure emotion.
And it's not just about distance. The angle of your camera has this crazy psychological power. If you shoot someone from down low, looking up at them, they immediately seem powerful, maybe even threatening. But take that same person and shoot them from up high, looking down, and suddenly they look small, vulnerable, maybe even trapped. It's such a simple trick, but the emotional effect is massive.
Okay,
So you've planned your idea, you've captured your shots, speaking the camera's language, but you're not done. Now we get to the final and maybe most magical stage, editing. This is where you take all that raw footage and shape it into a real experience.
The fancy word for this is montage. And listen, it is so much more than just sticking clips together in order. Montage is where you create brand new meaning. It's this idea that one shot plus another shot doesn't just equal two shots. It equals a third idea that wasn't in either of them alone.
If you really want to see how powerful this is, just look at those trailer recut videos online. Some genius editors took all the happy, cheerful footage from Mary Poppins, reordered it, and slapped some scary music underneath. And just like that, a beloved kids' movie becomes a terrifying horror film.
And it works the other way, too. People took the absolutely horrifying footage from The Shining, added a folksy narrator and some happy music, and turned it into a trailer for a sweet little family comedy. The shots are exactly the same, but the editing, the montage, completely flips the meaning on its head.
So when you put all of this together, planning the idea, speaking with your camera, and then creating new meaning with your edit, that's the whole process. That's what takes you from being someone who just hits record to being a real visual author.
So let's run through the secrets one more time. First, always plan your idea, and if it's a story, use that 3-act structure. Second, speak the camera's language with intentional shots and angles. And finally, never forget that editing isn't just cleanup, it's the final, crucial act of creation.
When you start thinking this way, you're not just taking pictures anymore. You're making choices. You're communicating. You've got the tools for an incredibly powerful language right in your hands. So the only real question left is, what story are you going to tell?